statewide in New Jersey.
Officials announced the initiative yesterday. Now, the program will issue $10,000 housing vouchers to homeless people identified by an outreach task force to help transition from the streets and into affordable housing. So one woman we spoke with talked about just how difficult every day is while she's forced to live on the streets in Jersey City.
It's really hard for me to struggle being a homeless person because, like I don't have no family, no friends like that to help me.
Well, to be eligible for the voucher, individuals must have experienced long-term homelessness.
Joining us right now, the mayor of Hoboken, Ravi Bhalla. He's one of the officials unveiling this new homeless initiative. Nice to have you here on Good Day New York.
Pleasure to be here.
So how does this work exactly? Because I know they have to prove that they've been homeless on the streets for a certain amount of time?
Yes.
How do you prove that?
So this is an innovative public-private partnership where we are using private capital to invest in a public problem of homelessness. We are incentivized, or the hospitals, which is the private element of it, is incentivized to prevent homelessness because homeless individuals use the emergency rooms, which comes at a high cost to the hospitals that are partners in this initiative. So they have invested $250,000 to find permanent housing for people who are chronically homeless.
So along with the voucher, though, is it monitored in some way as to how it's actually being spent in the proper manner for which you designated it to be?
Yes, we don't just give you the keys and say you're on your own.
For $10,000.
Right.
Is it given in stages?
Yeah, well, what we do is we have another nonprofit called Garden State Episcopal. They provide job training services, disability services, social services, everything you need to do to get back up on your feet and end the cycle of homelessness.
This sounds good. I mean, we have to do something different because obviously whatever we're doing now is not working to get people off the streets.
Exactly, and then what I set out to do as mayor is to find an innovative solution that stands out, that's different, that really brings in instead of tax dollars, private funds, private capital to invest in a problem that's a public problem. So this initiative comes at no cost to taxpayers at all.
Is it going to be in a trial phase before everybody signs off? Will you be closely watching everything to make sure, yes, this is working?
Yes, it's going to be a pilot program where we've invested $250,000. That's private capital from the hospitals. So that funds 25 individuals. If it's successful, then we can expand it to 40, 50, 75, 100 individuals. Another exciting aspect of the program is that we have an issue of panhandling. It's endemic in New York, endemic in Hoboken. We are unveiling what we are calling donation meters, similar to parking meters, where if someone doesn't feel comfortable giving money to somebody who's panhandling because they're not sure where the money's going to go, they can actually give a donation to a meter, which goes to the United Way, which administers the money to the Hoboken Homeless Shelter.
Where are these meters going to be placed?
They're going to be placed strategically at 8 locations within Hoboken where a lot of panhandling occurs. So it's a deterrent to panhandling, and it also makes sure that somebody who wants to give gives and is assured that they're giving to a good cause.
Well, that's what people do now, and they're concerned that it's going to get lost in the bureaucracy. But getting back to the homeless situation, so the pilot program is 25 people right now. What's the homeless situation like in Hoboken? Do you have a number of how many homeless there are?
We have an estimate of
more than 25, obviously.
It's more than 25. We are looking at the candidates that are most eligible based upon criteria to be successful within the program.
Do they have to stay in Hoboken once they get this money? Because maybe it's a little cheaper to go somewhere else and live.
They can stay anywhere. So the apartments that are found for them are within Hudson County, and our goal is not necessarily to keep them in one place. Our goal is to help them end the cycle of poverty. You know, and that's you know that's you know a measure of a society is how well we treat our weakest.
It's a little shocking, though, in some manner that the numbers are where they are, even if you don't have the direct one. But it's such a problem when you think of in Hudson County and all the growth that's been going on, young people, millennials coming in, and the housing, and you just, you know, I don't know if it's a matter of just forgetting these other individuals who kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Well, my biggest priority as mayor is to help people in most need of help, and right now we have this issue with homelessness, and we're trying to figure out innovative solutions to really not just put a Band-Aid on the problem, but to solve it, you know, in a more permanent way.
I hope it works. It sounds well, innovative, you know. And not because of the other stuff that just doesn't seem to be working.
But someone has to think out the
problem
box,
keeps growing.
right? You know, it's thinking out the box, not doing the traditional. Something's got to.
It's the first time, and we hope this is a national model where we're using private funds, private capital, incentivized by hospitals who bear costs when homeless people come to their emergency rooms, and they're incentivized to invest private capital to solve this public problem.
One last question before you leave. Let's talk about the bar situation in Hoboken. I know you've been on top of this. There's been some issues with, you know, rowdiness and drinking and stuff like that. What's the latest? What are you doing?
Well, there was unfortunately an incident, I believe 2 weekends ago, where the establishment was completely out of control. It was like girls gone wild, you know.
And it was videographed also.
It was videotaped. It was on social media.
Right.
That is completely unacceptable to me as the mayor of Hoboken. That is not what Hoboken's about. So we took immediate action to close down that bar. There'll be a hearing next week to permanently revoke the liquor license of that establishment. So that kind of behavior will not be tolerated in the city of Hoboken.
Are you taking a look at other bars in the area as well to make sure that
I think
they're
other
also
bars,
under the microscope?
By the action that we're taking, other bars are on notice that this kind of conduct will not be tolerated. We're a very family-friendly city. It's not reflective of who we are as Hoboken residents.
All right, Ravi Bhalla, thank you for being with us. As always, we appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, a new Netflix show.